Yay! Welcome back to the Lightning Bolt Chronicles. Hey y'all, hey, it's me, Christina McCrary on Facebook, aka Xtina McCrazy on TikTok and Instagram, host of McCrazy's Place podcast on YouTube, and it has an Instagram and a Facebook. Co-host of Thursday Night Live, your weekly dose of social media and pop culture and foolishness on YouTube and Facebook, and co-host of this wonderful and magical creation, the Lightning Bolt Chronicles, all brought to you by Sarcarrogance Media Group. Co-host, please introduce yourself.
Hey, magical friends. It's Erica, your friendly local Hufflepuff here. I am Poodle Noodle 82 in many places. You can find me there. And I am the co-host of these amazing and yes, magical Lightning Bolt Chronicles. Yahoo!
Welcome back. Welcome back. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, thank you. This is Chronicle 1-5, based on chapter 5 of the first Harry Potter book. This chapter is called Diagon Alley. Erica, do you want to give us a summary of the chapter?
I absolutely do. And my summary is all bullet points. Okay.
Ready, go.
I don't like to call this Diagon Alley. I think it should be Discovery Alley. All right. Or as we're titling it, Diagonally.
Diagonally.
Yeah.
What did he say? Diagonally. Did he? I thought he did.
Exactly. This is a fantastic chapter. One of my favorites. There's just so much discovery. There's so many things going on. We are introduced to everything, really. The beginning of the meat and potatoes. All right, my summary goes: owls, goblins, wizard money, flying, Ministry of Magic, dragons, establishments, wizarding establishments, wands, fame, vampires, hags, cauldrons, dragon liver, and other disgusting items, broomsticks, bank roller coasters, a robe shop, like wizard clothing, tailors shops, houses, like meaning the school houses, how students are broken up, Quidditch, other stores of different kinds, bookstores, and Ollivander's, the wand shop. That's my summary.
It's so funny because I wrote character intros: goblets, gringotts, and dragons. Ministry of Magic, which brings in who I call, okay, so I used to listen to this podcast about Harry Potter, and of course it was just two people, their take, whatever, and they would take it chunks at a time. This many chapters or whatever, and they'd give it a theme and whatever. But the thing that stuck to me when I listened to their podcast is they called the Minister of Magic Cornelius Fudge Corn Fudge. And so now I can never, ever, like, he's just always corn fudge to me now. So
that sounds disgusting.
Okay. So my character intros: bullet 1, goblins, gringotts, and dragons. Bullet 2, Ministry of Magic, parentheses, corn fudge. Bullet point number 3, fame, parentheses, Daedalus Diggle. And then I wrote Professor Quirrell, Grip Hook, Draco Malfoy, with an asterisk, Hedwig, and Mr. Ollivander.
Okay,
because
guys,
those
For all of you that are listening and or watching, we do not necessarily discuss our notes together beforehand. We talk about like who's gonna do what kind of a thing and like just a couple of points, but we do not discuss any of these notes. And yet somehow we literally did the same exact thing this week. We didn't even write out summaries. We just broke down bullet points. There's just so much to this chapter. It's just so loaded. You can't
I
really
swear,
give a proper.
it's like peeling back the curtain.
Yes.
Because like even before he goes into Diagon Alley,
Yeah.
coming up on the not the three broomsticks, the leaky cauldron. And like kind of getting a hint that maybe he's like, why does it seem like people are just passing it by, not really looking at it? And if you remember in the movie, when they walk up on it, they show you that like, you can't necessarily see it, it's enchanted.
And that's the best part. Like in the book, they kind of talk about he's like, he sees this kind of shop, he sees like a clothing shop, he sees another shop, and he's wondering to himself, can I buy this stuff in one of these stores? Like, have I just not been paying attention? It's crazy. It's crazy. And then they're like, it's here. And he's like, I don't even see anything. What are you talking about? It's here.
Oh
and
no.
then Hagrid goes, it's famous.
It's world famous or something. And they walk in and it's dingy and there's like 3 people in there.
And the bartender is cleaning a glass with like a dirty rag and just, yeah, it's marvelous. It's marvelous.
Awesome. It's so awesome. And
If
it's his
if I were to give you a proper summary, like a real summary, I would basically just tell you that at this point in time, Hagrid and Harry journey into the magical world for Harry's first time, to basically prepare him to buy his wares for school, to prepare him for wizarding boarding school. And the trials and tribulations and the discoveries that go with him purchasing all of his items, going to all these shops. And that's it, basically.
Yeah. He learns about wizard money. He learns about the wizard bank. He goes shopping in Diagon Alley, literally, like he goes to the wand shop. He goes to the book shop. He goes to the only place he doesn't go is to the pet shop because Hagrid goes.
Well,
but he goes
book versus movie, right? Like, is that what we're talking about? Because in the book, they go together. That was one of my points. In the book, Harry and Hagrid discuss that Hagrid is going to buy Harry a birthday present. And he's like, well, let me buy you your pet. And Harry, who has never received a proper birthday present in his entire life, is sheepishly like, no, you don't have to do that. And Hagrid's like, well, no, I'm buying you this. I'm not getting you a toad. They've gone out of fashion. Cats, I have cat allergies, so I'm not getting you a cat. Let's get you an owl. And they go and they buy it together. Whereas in the movie, it's a surprise gift.
Yeah. Okay. Because in the book, Harry's in the robe shop and he's talking to another wizard his age. And they don't tell you who it is, but we know who it is. And that's why Draco had a little asterisk by his bullet point, because you know it's him. He just doesn't get a chance to like, and you can, it's funny because Harry makes the comparison between Draco and Dudley.
Yeah.
And immediately dislikes Draco. It was just always in the cards. He just immediately disliked Draco.
I mean, hey, gut feelings, right?
Hey,
You have to.
you
have to
gotta
honor them.
listen to your gut.
You have to
Your
honor
intuition is telling you something.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, how about let's go back to the beginning and let's kind of chop it up a little bit because we jumped.
Okay.
Going
I mean,
to the
because
leaky
there's so much.
there's too much. So first of all, going into the leaky cauldron, even no, before that.
Wait. We got to
One
go back to
thing,
the beginning. I'm sorry, because the beginning
yes,
of this chapter is fantastic. Because when we
yeah,
last left Harry, he was getting ready for bed. He had just been told he was a wizard, all this ridiculous stuff. So he wakes up in the morning and he doesn't want to open his eyes. And his first thoughts are, it's a dream. It was a dream. I dreamt that a giant named Hagrid came and told me that I was a wizard and that I'm going off to a magic school. And then he hears bang, 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 and he's like, and there's Aunt Petunia banging on my cupboard for me to get up.
so sad. But like he's just like, oh, whatever. It's just another day of this.
Until he opens his eyes. And Hagrid's
And
jacket
what's
falls off of
nothing?
him and he turns and Hagrid's on the couch. And there's an
And
owl
what's
at the
nothing?
window.
An owl at the window, right? Yeah. I love how the owl attacks Hagrid's coat. The owl's
Yeah,
so smart.
yeah. And Harry's like, don't do that. But it's foreshadowing again because for a long time, Hedwig is the one continuous friend that's always with Harry. So we know when we get to know Hedwig how smart owls are because Harry will be like, hey, go do
Yeah.
this.
Incredible. Incredible.
So yeah, he's like, Hagrid, the owl's attacking your coat. Hagrid's like, you got to pay him for delivering the newspaper.
That's right. How much does the newspaper cost?
5 canutes.
5.
Right.
I think it's nuts.
I pronounce it newts, but every time I listen to an audiobook, because when I was prepping for this episode and I was in the shower, I was listening to the audio to someone read the chapter so that I could brush up again because it's been about a week since I had read it and I wanted it fresh. And they pronounced it canutes. So I'm not sure.
Really?
They did. Yeah, it was weird.
Who was it? Was it the Stephen Fry?
It was not. Because you know what? I don't know if he's like licensed by She Who Must Not Be Named or what, but like whenever I find a YouTube channel or a site or something that has his version up, it disappears. They take it down.
Oh,
and there's
yeah,
other ones out there. Like I literally come across YouTubes where people are like, oh, I'm just reading them, and they're reading the chapter out loud. Like it's out there to be listened to, but not Stephen Fry.
Did you ever pronounce it on in the movies? I'm trying to think if there's ever a point where in my head it was nuts.
I don't know that they did.
Anybody who is listening and or watching, if you know the answer, hit us in the comments and tell us, because this is going to be of great debate now. In my head, I'm not going to be able to let this go. How do you pronounce this?
Now I'm going to have to go
Anyway,
look and
the
see.
paper is 5 of these coins, right? So we are introduced to wizarding money. Yay!
Right, and they have
there are no bills.
No, none.
There's no
and they're
money.
totally like put off by Muggle money because Harry has to pay at the train station and all that because Hagrid's like, oh, Muggle money.
Well, because you don't know how to convert it, right? I mean, it's the same when you visit a new country. And like the first time I visited Japan, oh man, I was like, I have 10,000. This says 10,000. But 10,000 yen is not even
About
$100.
$100.
Yeah.
It's about $100.
If we were going, yeah, 1 to 100, but right now it's not
Well,
even that because
I know, but I said about. I said
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. But yeah, so we have 3 coins. Their pockets must be heavy.
They carry
How
money
do you
bags, remember? Like little money pouches.
Yeah.
Which
like
I
back in
guess
the
if
day.
you dude, underneath those robes, they must have all kinds of stuff. They got wand pockets, they got money bags, they got like what is going on under the robe?
And why isn't the actual merch like that? Like there's no wand pocket in like the row behind you. There's no wand
Yeah,
pocket. There
there
aren't
should
any like
be
real pockets inside.
there should be a wand pocket. Why is there no wand pocket?
Why aren't there well there are outside pockets, right? Like money pockets, I guess.
I don't know, but wizards don't carry money in their pocket like that because aren't the galleons big?
Yeah.
So like
I mean, how do you
money
I guess
pouch.
would they do bank transfers for large purchases, or do you have to like wheel a wheelbarrow full of galleons somewhere?
I feel like that second one. Or if you're that rich, you have like, they have goblins who do that, I'm sure.
Well, I
Are
mean,
there not
isn't that just
goblins whose job that would be because as part of the bank? No? And then if not,
but
he
I'm
has a
saying,
house.
wouldn't that just be a bank transfer then? So let's say you go to a department store or like a furniture store and you want to buy a bed. Okay, a bed is probably going to cost you a bunch of galleons. If a wand costs what, 7 galleons?
I think Harry's wand did cost 7 galleons.
Yeah. So if a wand costs 7 galleons, how many galleons do you think a bed is going to cost? And
A
how,
good
like,
few.
that has to be a bank transfer, right? There has to be some communication to the bank, which is called
Yeah, there's
Gringotts.
got to be goblin transfer goblins.
Yeah.
There's got to be transfer goblins. So when you make a big
I
purchase, they
honestly
wheel that
feel
crap over from the bank.
I honestly feel like there could be a whole series just about Gringotts.
Probably.
Just about the goings on at Gringotts.
What happens there, how it's run, the magic that it encompasses, the dragon.
And like anti spell protection, like anti theft protection, because like I mean things happen, wizards have magic. They can try to, I don't know, juju you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
The
we know
magical
about
world seems dangerous. Somebody might imperious me.
Well, yeah, exactly. You have to train your brain to be able to fight it, right?
That's true.
Okay, so we know that the owl came and Harry paid him 5 nuts, canutes, whatever you want to call them. And
KNUTS.
yeah, exactly. 5 KNUTSs. And then they got on the train in the book. Here's a book versus movie.
Wait,
They got
did we
on
name
the
all
train.
the wizard coins? Did we tell everybody all the wizard coins? Because there's only 3.
There's 3.
So the
KNUTSs
is the small copper one. Then there's a silver sickle.
Yep.
and then the galleon is gold. And from
Yep.
what we can understand, they're kind of like, I picture them as like a penny, a quarter, and then like big
A silver
galleon,
dollar.
but bigger, a little bit
Yeah.
bigger.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy. But in the
yeah,
movie, when we see them in Harry's hand, they are much smaller.
yeah, they just look like coins, but there's gold ones
Yeah.
too.
I mean, they're a little bit thicker, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So then they go, okay. So then they go and get on the train, and Harry has to do the muggle money because Hagrid only knows wizard money.
So here's the
And
book versus movie, right? Because we do not see any of this transpire in the movie. There's the deleted scenes. So in your brain right now, if you're picturing the movie, you're picturing, you must have seen the deleted scenes.
I have seen all the deleted scenes, of course.
I know that. I know. Anyway, so basically in the book, there is they're struggling, right, to get through. Hagrid can't even get through the barrier, right? The barrier, basically like the turnstile, right?
Turnstile, yeah.
The turnstile. And then Harry helps him out because Harry, being muggle raised, he knows the ins and outs. And then they get on the train and like people are watching them and be all like, what are you staring at, kind of a thing, because obviously Hagrid is half giant, so something to be stared at. But we miss this opportunity in the movie unless you watch the deleted scenes, where yes, there's a deleted scene of this moment. But I don't know. I feel like it would have been a funny moment. I don't know why they removed it.
To put him on the train
Yeah.
because he's all huge and big and oblivious to the fact that everybody's like, what the? Hagrid's like, la la la, reading this paper. I love Hagrid
Okay.
so much.
The train, they go to the leaky cauldron. We already talked about that. And now at the leaky cauldron, I don't know if you are aware of this, but so he meets a lot of people. And you said, who did you write down?
He met Daedalus Diggle, Professor Quirrell, Grip Hook. Oh no, he met Grip Hook at Gringotts.
Right.
So Professor
So
Quirrell and Daedalus Diggle inside of the leaky cauldron, along with a lot of other people, because people lined up. It was like he had a receiving line, and I can't remember the name of the woman who went through like 4 times.
Doris, somebody.
See, that's why I was listening to the audiobook, because I was trying to refresh so I would get the names and stuff so I could write them down.
What's your last name? Doris Crockford.
She went through the hug line like 4 times.
I love that. I love that for her. It was like she was fangirling hard.
And the thing is, like, these are all adults because they're in the leaky cauldron, right? And there's no other kid. Not that kids can't go there because it's the entrance to Diagon Alley, but all adults in a dingy pub. This kid's 11 years old. Can you imagine?
But this kid has been famous for all 11 years, and he did the biggest deed
yesterday.
Ever. He did the biggest deed in the whole wizarding world.
He just found out yesterday.
Yeah.
Last night, to be specific.
He knows something weird happens because when he saw Daedalus Diggle, he's like, hey, I know you. You bowed at me in a shop. Again, fangirling hard. Okay. And then here's my book versus movie moment for the leaky cauldron. He shakes Professor Quirrell's hand in the book. Straight shakes his hand. Touchy, touchy, skin to skin. Now, in the movie, Quirrell, he like kind of pulls away from Harry's hand when he sees it. Now, we're not going to tell you right now, this is just foreshadowing for the future, but this is highly significant for the future. But it's interesting, and I wonder
because the no touchy touchy hasn't happened yet.
How and why is this the case in the book? How is it possible? And again, we can't go into details because it's more significant in the future, but interesting, something to think about. Like, I thought about, like, okay, it's very obvious that in the movie he kind of curls back, revolts away from Harry's hand, but in the movie, I mean, in the book, he shakes his hand. So anyway,
I'm gonna have to pay attention to the timeline on those things, but okay.
Yeah, that's a little nugget for the future.
Yeah, for later, for us to come back and unpack later.
Yes, we must unpack. Okay, now after that, it's the business. The brick wall happens. The brick wall is here, and oh my gosh, it is time. Like you said, peel back the curtain, more like unlock the wall. Hagrid does the code, the secret code that apparently all wizards know. I don't know when do they teach you the code? Is there orientation meeting?
I mean, I guess somebody takes you the first time every time, right? And then whoever, like, they already know, so they pass it on to you.
Okay.
I mean, him going with Hagrid that first time, now he knows how to get there. So if he wants to go next time, he knows, right?
So it's grandfathered in. Okay.
I would think so. Because how would you know otherwise? Unless you're a full, like, did the Weasley kids grow up knowing how because they've gone there anyway as little kids? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Although they flew out.
No, they go there in a different transport method.
Yeah, that's true.
So they just get in, you know? And we'll discuss that later too.
Okay, because they're already in the magical world. So the muggle people living amongst the muggles would come in through the leaky cauldron. So you would have to be brought in. You would have to be brought in. That's how you learn. You're brought in.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
We go in. All of a sudden, it is a whole magical world. And I am so ecstatic for Harry, particularly for the moment where he sees magical children. Kids who are like super hardcore excited about a broomstick, because this is all surprising. When they leave the hut, he asks Hagrid, "How'd you get here?" Because there's only one boat, and Hagrid says, "I flew." And Harry is just, what? But we don't know how he flew there, right? And there's no broomstick. He doesn't have a broomstick. How did he fly there? We don't know. So we see the broomstick for the first time, and we see the kids getting all excited about the broomstick and thinking how cool it is and how much they'd like to own one. And then we see him look at other shops, and there's just, I mean, eye candy galore. It's just too much. He says, one of my favorite lines is that he wishes he had 8 more eyes to be able to take it all in. So cute. So
look, this may just be me, but 8 eyes. Spider, but go.
Yeah, there you go. And then he ends up going into a couple shops, right? So let's talk about Madame Malkin's robe shop. We already
So he
talked
goes
about it a
in.
little bit.
He goes in, and she's like, "Oh, Hogwarts, okay, right this way," and puts him up on the little pedestal next to another boy. They're both getting fitted. The boy's talking. Harry's like, "Ew, I don't like this guy. He reminds me of Dudley." And just as the boy asks him, "Who are you? What's your surname?" Because last names, because the boy has gone on and on about how he's a pureblood and his family is well known because they're purebloods and this and this and this. And
Yeah.
asks Harry his surname. But just at that moment, his tailor finishes and says, "All right, you're done." And Harry takes that opportunity to be like, "No, that's okay."
Yep.
And
Hightails it out of there.
yes, they don't name the boy, but those of us who know that it is Draco Malfoy. This is when he first meets Draco Malfoy. He just doesn't know his name yet.
Exactly. Okay. So that
And
happens
of
at
course,
Madame Malkin.
well, and while he's at Madame Malkin's, oh no, you're right, because it changes in the book. So Hagrid gets his owl.
Oh, right. No, that was while he was at Ollivander's.
Got it. Okay. See, in the book and the movie, it's different, and I'm getting them mixed up.
Yeah. Well, no, in the book, they go shopping together for it.
Yeah. Because that's why I
Hagrid
said,
is
oh yeah,
buying.
you just said that. Because I'm thinking of the movie where when he's in the shop, Hagrid comes back in the window and he has the bird, and he's like, but that's not what
Exactly.
happens. Harry's in the shop, and Hagrid comes to the window, and he's got two big old ice creams. And they go outside and eat ice cream, and that's when they talk about getting Harry's owl.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so then they go, and
Then
Harry
they
goes
go.
to the wand shop while Hagrid goes to get the owl and then meets him in the wand shop. Yes?
Yeah, in the movie, yeah. Oh, we forgot Gringotts.
Oh, yes. They had to go to Gringotts first because money.
Mm-hmm. There are goblins,
So,
and
yes.
Harry is taken aback by the goblins, and Hagrid feels super sick because in order to get to your vault, you have to ride a roller coaster, basically. And
They're
there
like
are no
mining carts. They're like old school. It's crazy
that
how magic has such historical things. Like, it's literally like in the old coal mines.
yeah,
A whole cart.
and they use coins and they have money instead of having bills. Yeah, all of it. So one thing that I like, one of my points from Gringotts is that so Harry goes to his vault. It opens up. He is loaded, right? Loaded. And he's
His
like,
parents
oh my
left him a small fortune.
if only the Dursleys knew, he would have been wiped clean. Like completely.
But you know what
And
struck me about that? And they are those kind of people. They totally would have tried to like take his money or whatever. But can you exchange magical money for muggle money? And how would they know without having to go? You know what I mean?
Of course you can. You absolutely have to be able to, because how does Hermione, who is muggle born, buy all of her stuff?
True.
So
So they
there are
have to have
situations where
a money exchange situation, but they would only have it on the magical side, not on the muggle side.
well, then they would just have to launder it back in.
I
That's
feel like
fine.
they should act like it doesn't exist, like all the rest of the magic.
But there's a Ministry of Magic, right? So they have to have some sort of division where like something happens where they launder it back in. Anyway,
Maybe.
one thing that I thought was really interesting is that literally this is Harry's first foray into magic, and he is already behind the scenes on Hogwarts special secret business because they visit Vault 713
And
for
pick up a small grubby package.
a mission, a Dumbledore mission. He's already wrapped up in shenanigans. And
With
literally,
Dumbledore.
this is his first day in the wizarding world. So I love
I
it.
just found out last night.
Yeah. And then already they're like, okay, well, we got to go pick up Dumbledore's package. It's super secret. Don't tell anybody.
What's
Yeah,
in it? Can't tell you that.
I love it. Okay. And then, oh, Quidditch. They get to see when Malfoy was talking to him at the robe shop. They talk about Quidditch. What's Quidditch?
Quidditch is the wizard sport. It was interesting because I think Hagrid said, oh, it's kind of like soccer. Like, how does Hagrid know about soccer?
I don't know.
But it's not. It's like soccer and basketball and water polo and all flying on broomsticks with 4 balls. And
It's wild, right? Yeah.
it's the wizard sport and it's played on broomsticks.
Yeah. I find it interesting that that's the only wizarding sport, though.
I mean, who the hell wants to run around and try to dunk balls in baskets if you can fly on a broomstick?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with that. Okay.
Or run and be tackled.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, yeah. I don't. Look, I love football, but can we just make it flag, please? Like, I'm over all of this like brain damage.
Yeah, I think here in the US they're moving toward making flag football the Olympic sport so that it's not tackle no more or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to see. I only heard something about it. Anyway, moving on. Sorry.
No, it's
I
okay.
keep taking
yeah.
sideways.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So then Harry goes to get his wand.
Yes! The thing he's been waiting for. Okay, so he walks into the shop. It is called Ollivander's. And there's this dude who is like 1,000 years old, or at least that's what he looks. And wands, like a bookshop, but just boxes of wands. And wands, we learn about wands. We learn that they have cores, and that is what makes them, well, that's one of the things that makes them magical. The wood also has to come from particular trees, and the wand chooses the wizard. You do not pick up a wand and just pick it. The wand picks you in order for it to work at its best. So there is some magical connection between you and the wand, right? So we learn that Harry's wand it has a very, very, very special core. It is a phoenix feather, right? And what do we learn? What else do we learn about Harry's wand?
That the wand that gave Harry his scar is the only other wand with the feather from the same phoenix's tail.
It is its brother. Its brother gave you that scar. Right? So this is huge. This is a huge revelation, right? That
big deal, and it's going to come into play later.
Ollivander remembers every wand he's ever sold, and the brother core, so one phoenix one bird gave 2 feathers, only 2. And so therefore those wands are brother wands, brother cores. And Voldemort has that wand. That's Voldemort's wand. So we'll discuss that more in the future, but that's very important. Anything else?
No, I think that covers it.
Man, that was a lot.
That was a big day for Harry.
It was huge.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
It is really
but leads us straight into
magic, making magic. Let's make magic. I'm so excited for this. Okay. Well, the thing that Harry was most excited for, his wand. So wands are so important in the magical world and so expensive in the universal wizarding world. And therefore, as a very thrifty individual myself, I would imagine that we don't want to spend that much money. And plus, I have one here that I can show you. This is Hermione's wand. In the wizarding world, you only have a certain number of wands, certain type of wand that you can buy. Here is Hermione's wand, and it's got some like kind of filigree, some viney situation going on. And this is the kind that you can use. There's a core in this one as well, and you can use it in the wizarding world. It connects to some of the displays, and you can make things move. But how much does this cost you, Christina?
Oh my God, they cost so much.
Especially the ones that have the core that help things move, right? I don't know how much, what, like $50? $60?
I want to say they're a minimum of like $50-$60.
Okay. Well, let me just tell you that for all of less than $2, because I'm talking yen, so for 200 yen, I made like 10. 10. 10.
You have a crap ton of pictures, so let's get moving.
Do it. Okay, my so it's going to cost you a little more than 200 yen, but these are what we're using are cooking chopsticks. Okay, now the cooking chopsticks, one pack of the extra long ones is a pair, right? Because they're chopsticks, is 100 yen, and then I got another pack of 4 pairs in different lengths for 100 yen. So that's the 200 yen right there. Now you can
That's
use
also 10 wands.
Yeah, you can use the acrylic paints that we've been using this whole time, or you can buy 2 cans of spray paint. Each can being 100 yen for me. And also a glue gun and some glue sticks. Now, in Japan, glue guns, you can buy a glue gun for 100 yen at the dollar store. And you can also buy glue sticks that have a little bit of glitter or color to them, or you could buy the regular clear kind. So those are the materials. Let's go on.
So I got my glue stick at the 99 store for,
Yeah.
I think it was $1.99 actually, which isn't bad.
Okay.
And then the glue sticks were $1 a pack for like a 25 pack for the clear ones.
Yep. All right. So here is my craft supplies. Now, this is only if you want to get super crazy. I use these a lot for so many different crafts. I even take them to work and let kids use them. So I have collected this over time, so I've got a lot of different paints and a lot of different crafts. So this is the deluxe version. Okay, let's move on. So here I am, because they are chopsticks, they have holes in them at the end. And so I covered the holes with glue. Let's
Okay.
move on. Here is my glue work. Now, please, PSA, very, very, very important. Be careful with the glue. Obviously, it's hot. We know this. It is a hot glue gun. If you touch the glue, it will stick to your hands. But there's a trick. Using super icy cold water or ice cubes, you can manipulate the glue so that it cools and it's kind of malleable, but you only have a very short window. So in order to do like those kind of different shapes of glue, you would need to put your hands in water or use ice to kind of maneuver the glue. Okay. Oh, and then I also used pipe cleaner. That's the holes covered. Yep, that's covering the holes with the glue. These, this is my collection of paint. Not everybody has the same collection of paint, but that's okay. That's me working with paint. Just trying to mix and match different colors to use to have different hues. And I have some of the acrylic paint that I have has a little bit of metallic finish to it as well. Let's move on. Now, for this, I actually used the parchment paper that you saw in the previous slide to put the glue on the parchment paper and then use my finger, dunk it in water first, and then push on the blob of glue to make the petals. So it's easy enough to kind of maneuver and um, move the glue around so that you can make this and then use the glue to stick them back onto the wand. And then I painted it green and gold for kind of like a pot, I guess, a flower in a pot. I don't know. Just ideas that come to mind while I'm doing this. This is I don't know, what do I call it? A blobby wand where I just put blobs on it. I mean,
It came
you
out
have
so
creative.
cool though. You cannot call it a blobby wand because that sounds like crap. And it came out
It,
looking so good.
I don't know what
It's
to
kind of
call it.
reminiscent of Hermione's wand.
Yes, yes. I mean, I will say that I look at some of the licensed products and I kind of take inspiration, but do it all on my own style. You'll see with the others. Go on. This one is kind of a swirly one, and I made it's kind of like a peppermint stick. And here, these are the basic of the basics, like the cheap, cheap kind, where I'm using nothing but glue, paint, and that's it. And one
Oh,
pipe cleaner. There's the better picture with like better lighting. You can see the colors. There's a little bit of metallic. There's a little bit of matte. But again, you have creative licensing here to do whatever it is that you'd like. Now, did you get the other ones? Go on. Okay. Here we have slightly more fancified wands where I'm using my craft stuff to incorporate like new or different designs. Okay. And also in these, painted them first. So in the other ones, I painted them last. In these, I'm doing the opposite and I painted the wands first and then decorated them. This is decorated with nail art rhinestoney things. And
what?
at the very top I had a broken, I think it was like a broken bracelet or something, and I just put it on the top.
So cute.
Let's go on. That kind of gives Gryffindor vibes.
A little bit,
This
yeah.
is, again, I use a lot of nail art rhinestones because they're really small. So they're perfect for this kind of work. And I have them in different colors and different shapes. And here I just wanted to put the little flowers on it.
This is
And then at the
definitely
very top,
Hufflepuff.
yeah, exactly.
Herbology and Hufflepuff combined.
Yes. Okay, next.
Puff.
Can you
Sorry.
there? That I put a bead. It's like how can I explain it? It's a bead that has some holes in it. You would use it for like a maybe a cheap bracelet or whatnot. Again, all this stuff is from the dollar store, but I just thought it would be cute at the tip of the wand.
Very
Let's
cute.
go on to the next. This one I had some rings that were broken. They were super cheap rings that have like little rhinestones on it, and I put it at the tip. I mean, at the handle. Go on. Oh, also,
That was the last picture.
this is black glue. This is the last picture. Okay, then I
That was
can
the last
show you
picture.
the other one. I have another one that I did. Okay, this is the other one that I did in this color. And look at this key.
Oh, how cute.
And this is black glue. And I put little rhinestone-y things at the tips. And at the very bottom, I made it into like little flowers.
That's cute.
Yeah. So this one's a little bit different. But look at all these wands. Now, I made several before. We already talked about the fact that I had a Harry Potter party. And I actually made labels for them. And the labels have the core. So this is like oak wood and badger claw, slightly springy. Now, these are not my labels. I got them off of someone online, and we will we'll put the maker in the description below, because how cool are these? Now, if you want to make them yourself, you're more than welcome to. And you can just put them on the wands, and we'll show you also a display of how many wands did I make.
Like 50.
Right? I think it was 50 because I've got number 44 here. That's how the
I think
wand
it
chose the
was
wizard.
50.
Yeah, in my scenario. So you can make them again as cute or crazy as you would like, because it's your creative licensing here. Which one did you like the most, would you say?
I feel like the one with the black glue going up the wand, that was very Ravenclaw and very me combined.
This one?
That one.
Oh, I also made this one. This has a little gold at the tip, and then I put this style and just black kind of snaky, slithery bloopies. And then here it has some slightly more definition and some gold stars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That one looks like wood.
I literally get in the zone. I get in
I
the
see.
zone when I'm doing this. Just whatever comes up, allow yourself for your creative juices to flow and enjoy, because it's super fun. It should be a really fun activity. And I highly recommend all of you try.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Do you have any
Okay.
questions about it?
No, because this one I already had like the inside track because of the wands you made for your last party. So
Yeah.
I already kind of knew it was coming, and I've already kind of started picking up little things here and there in hopes that I can do something cool. So we'll see
Okay.
how it goes.
I love it.
All right. So you know what time it is.
Oh, yes.
Hallows
Hallow or
or Horcruxes.
let's do it.
All right. Today's Would You Rather. Would you rather shop in a magical bookshop or a magical apothecary?
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
Do you want me to go
This one's
first?
fun.
It's
Yeah,
really
please.
hard. You want to know how I
Yeah.
solved it?
How?
I'm going shopping in the magical bookshop, and you're going shopping in the magical apothecary because we need to combine what we purchase. What's the use of being able to get the things from the apothecary if you don't know what the hell to do with them? And then what's the use of being able to read all these cool things that you could do if you don't have the things to do it with? So we're going to have to split this one, and I'll let you go to the apothecary because I feel like your cooking and palate and all that is a little more useful there. And
I
I'll
don't
go
think
to
you're
the
supposed to eat
bookstore.
the frog spawn
I mean, no, but you know what I mean? Like,
or the dragon liver. I don't know though.
I'm just saying, your smell
Yeah.
and your palate and your knowledge of those kind of things might be better for picking out things at the apothecary.
All right. So basically, Tina's telling all of you, go get you a best friend, because
We're going to
we're gonna
split
need.
this shit down the middle.
You know what? I actually did choose the apothecary. But I also feel like it's very much us because you are, I mean, we both love books, but you are way more of a bookworm than I am. And it's like, I mean, you have a Kindle, like you read all the time, right? It's, you got a spare second, you've got time on the train. Oh, okay, on the Kindle or whatever. Whereas, I mean, for me, I would prefer an actual book that I can hold, but that's because I prefer hands on everything. For me, even in my classes with my students, like I'm the crazy teacher that brings in chicken hearts so that we can have like pretend like anatomy class. And I'm like, okay, kids, get your gloves on so we can play. And it's like, do we know what we're doing? Maybe not, but you know what? We're going to enjoy playing with chicken hearts. Don't worry, guys. You can buy it at the grocery store. Okay. I'm not going around to the farms and chickens. No, no. I bought it at the supermarket. Okay. But yeah, I mean, the kids really enjoy it because they don't really have such hardcore, like hands-on classes here. There's a lot more book studying going on here. So I mean, yeah, I want to get my hands dirty. I'd rather play with all the stuff. And actually, let's read a little bit about the apothecary. Then they visited the apothecary, which was fascinating enough to make up for its horrible smell. A mixture of bad eggs and rotted cabbages. Great! Barrels of slimy stuff stood on the floor. Jars of herbs, dried roots, and bright powders lined the walls. Bundles of feathers, strings of fangs, and snarled claws hung from the ceiling. That sounds like fun.
So
I want to go
I
there.
had forgotten that description when I was coming up to the answer to the question, but with that description and what you know of me, do you think I want to go in the apothecary?
Absolutely not. Barrels of slimy stuff? No, you're out.
And I'm gagging the minute I walk in the door because it smells like rotten eggs and rotten cabbage. What the hell?
Yeah. For sure.
I
I'm
love
gonna
it.
be
I
the
love
one
that.
hanging out phoning Myrtle, like making something while you stand in the corner, like reading the directions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Get your best friend, guys, because you need to team up to do stuff sometimes.
Because sometimes you're the two halves to a whole.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, I love us. But then I guess that technically makes my answer the bookstore and yours the apothecary, and then it still works out anyway because you're going to the apothecary, I'm going to the bookstore, and we combine.
Yeah, that's called efficient shopping right there.
And we are two of the most efficient people we know.
Yes, absolutely.
It's
I'm
actually
gonna
kind of
say
scary sometimes.
I'm gonna say when we want to be, but yes.
Yeah, but some people can't even be efficient when they want to be. We have like a sickness.
That's true. That's true.
In some situations, we can't not be.
Oh, absolutely. It's, yeah, depending on the environment, there are moments where we are hyper efficient.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. But hey, you want
Tell the
something
people where to
organized?
find you, friend.
I am Poodle Noodle 82, the Hufflepuff extraordinaire co-host of the Lightning Bolt Chronicles. And yes, you can find us everywhere. Everywhere. We're everywhere. That's all.
She's right. We're everywhere. We're on, if you're watching us now, you know that we're on YouTube. If you're listening to us now, you may also know that we are on Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and on our own website, www.thelightningboltchronicles.com. We have a TikTok and a Facebook, but where you really want to be is in the Instagram stories because what we told you about today's chapter, we'll have 5 little trivia questions in another week or so. So that's where all of the interactive stuff goes on. If you make any of the crafts that our lovely crafty queen has demonstrated throughout these and the upcoming chapters, please, please, please send pictures to our email, thelightningboltchronicles@gmail.com, and we will post them and we will show them and we will shout you out. And this has been another lovely episode. Thank you for joining us for Chronicle 1-5. I am Christina McCrary on Facebook, aka Xtina McCrazy on TikTok and Instagram, host of McCrazy's Place podcast on YouTube, and it has an Instagram and a Facebook, co-host of Thursday Night Live, your weekly dose of social media and pop culture foolishness and shenanigans on Facebook and YouTube. You can join us in the comments, talk to us live every week on Thursday at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern, and co-host of this magical journey, the Lightning Bolt Chronicles, with my very best friend in the whole wide world. And it was lovely to have you all, and have a magical 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye, guys.